Hi everybody, welcome back. This isn't a movie review either, really. This is just commentary about something else related to a movie that I wanted to remind you guys of. Yeah, next year, from what I understand, and we're talking next year as in 2012 next year, there's supposed to be a new version of Disney's Haunted House Ride coming out in the theaters, directed by Gillumero Del Torro. I'm probably mispronouncing his name, so if I'm mispronouncing his name, there's worse things I'm sure he's been called. Okay, and the ride's the Haunted Mansion. And I also wanted to remind you guys that, like, a while back, I did a movie review of the movie with Eddie Murphy with the same name, The Haunted Mansion, and I'm not going to say what I said there. I'm not going to rehash it. So if you want to go, see what I said about the Eddie Murphy version of The Haunted Mansion, go watch that movie and review, and you'll find out. But one other thing, and I also mentioned this in another video after that about the Del Toro version. I hope that Gillumero does a better job of actually, like, doing the ride, because I'm just really wanting to see how he handles it. And of course, I don't think that he'd make it, like, so scary that it'd make Freddy Krueger look like a normal person. And something else as well, and I actually did a product review related to the Haunted Mansion, and it's the CD of the Haunted Mansion that was released in 1969. And it's got a lot to do with this. It's where I talk about the impossibility of the characters named Mike and Karen to be walking home from a date in the overnight, late night hours. I mean, unless, like, their car broke down on the way home and they didn't have a signal on their cell phones or their tablets or something to, at least communicate with somebody. I mean, unless, Del Toro is planning on setting it back in the day when people didn't have cell phones. And you gotta keep in mind also that prior to, like, the 1980s, nobody really, quote unquote, had a cell phone. That they were, like, the size of, like, a regular brick. I mean, they were, like, about as big as this book. From end to end, and had one of those big antennas. I mean, it looked like a toy. I've actually seen a few of them. I'm like, that looks like, it doesn't look real, you know what I'm saying, now compared to, how little they are. I mean, I don't have my cell phone on me right this minute, or I'd show you how small mine is. But, yeah. Hopefully, and this is one thing, and I don't think I've mentioned this in the other video where I talked about Del Toro redoing the movie. I hope he doesn't go the route of the soundtrack from 1969 that Walt Disney oversaw, that has Ron Howard doing the voice of the character Mike. I mean, unless, and this is something that I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the other two videos, I'm hoping that unless Del Toro, if he's going to go the route of the 1969 disc, he'd better, fix it to where, they're walking because they ran out of gas, or, like, their car, like, slid off the road because it stormed really bad, or it flooded or something, and just make sure the car doesn't have, like, OnStar on it, or, or mom and dad were being cheap, because of, like, the economic depression that's going on right now, and they had to have, the OnStar turned off, and, the two kids' cell phones are out of minutes, or because they're, like, the pay-as-you-go thing, or, they were bad and, like, talked way too much to their friends on it, and mom and dad had limited their cell phone minutes, because I think Verizon has it fixed to where, like, if, like, the kids are on mom and dad's cell phone plan, there's, like, a plan that allows mom and dad, like, online to limit, like, out of, like, say, like, they have, like, 5,000 minutes to talk, like, mom and dad can say, okay, well, they're going to have, like, an hour out of all that, you know, and they can adjust it accordingly. I mean, something like that. And, you know, it's like, you know, they, you know, are trying to find, you know, the kids are walking to the nearest home that they can find, or a gas station, you know, to see, you know, if they can find a, you know, like even a payphone to call to see about getting their parents or AAA to come help with the car trouble they're having and everything. I hope, and it's really sincerely my hope, that, you know, Del Toro is kind of creative with it. The other way that I'm hoping that, this is the one that I'm hoping he does, is there's a lot of books on the Haunted Mansion, and it's, you know, about, like, you know, Edward Gracie, which they did kind of do in the Eddie Murphy version, about Edward Gracie and, like, you know, his wife and, you know, Madame Leota, you know, the gypsy, and, you know, all that other stuff. Something like that. That would be something I can see him doing. Just because that storyline is more plausible than in the way that either the Disney disc was or the Eddie Murphy movie. You know, excuse me, I have gas. I've been burping in the last couple of videos because I have gas. So no offense, folks. I've got another few more movie reviews, and these are actually movie reviews this time that I've been sitting on, just because, of course, as I mentioned in the last video, you know, I've been waiting for, or actually not the last video, I take that back. In the first video where I was talking about Burlesque, that I've shot here today, I've been waiting for this computer to get put together so I can do these, and this is why I'm kind of abusing the privilege now. So hang on, I've got some more to talk about, okay? And it's got nothing to do with the Haunted Mansion, alright? So hang on.